Hello, I'm Brian C. Mears, and this is Expression of Light Language. There's a full moon today. There was an eclipse yesterday. Sleep is rare in my world. Patients are completely dysregulated in my clinic. My children are bouncing all over the place like rubber balls in a room filled with mouse traps. And here we are at a space where we've been presented with massive amounts of proof of darkness. And we have the darkness moving in front of the light, the illuminated moon going into the shadow of the earth. And then as we come out of the shadow, we're greeted with the full moon. And this expression of the light will win. I don't know the direction that humanity is going. I know some of the things that are in the files that were all being shared. And I also know that somehow we will have to find our way through this collectively. And so what I'd like to offer today is a very quick channeled light language of just calming and centering ourselves within our own being. Not what we're told we're supposed to feel, not what we're told we're supposed to think, not who we're told we're supposed to be. Our society is sick and diseased. We have copious amounts of proof around that. So in order to deal with disease, you have to deal with the individuals that are showing up in a disease state. Some of this is the darkness that we've seen within files. Some of this is the darkness that we have within ourselves. It's our own shadow that we either reject, we usually reject, run away from, right? Going into it doesn't feel good. Embracing it feels even worse, and yet the darkness exists. And so there's a space of humanity needing to learn how to embrace darkness, not because the darkness doesn't need to be resolved, but we have to acknowledge the darkness in order to bring light to it. So the light language today is to be able to bring light into our world, is to be able to bring some form of stability, some form of inner knowing, capital K, knowing, to be able to bring us into a space where we can just be humans living with other humans again, in whatever way that looks for each individual. Before we get into that, I'd just like to acknowledge, I did say in my previous video that we were going to get into a new series about the acupuncture vessels, the meridian systems that exist within the Chinese medical system, and I absolutely will be working on that one. The eclipse season, Mercury in retrograde, full moon, all those things have disheveled my world a little bit, and so I've taken the message that we'll get to that here in a week or two. Just need the things to settle down just a little bit on the cosmic level, when I know they're not going to, but I need them settled enough that I can focus enough to be able to articulate the clinical knowledge that I have and translate it into both a presentable package for people that are watching and also as a light language channel at the end of this series. Okay, so light language to be able to settle down the esoteric energies, the high vibrational state that we're within, not settling it so it goes away, settling it so it can be integrated, because we need that high vibration to be able to help shake free all the stagnation that the darkness has built around us. Just mohotai kataramokotai serataramohotai senenekamotai taradaramokoto moroka serete shenakaita kamohoto moratai senakaitenekamohotai tirenmoko. It's fascinating to me. It's actually easier for me to speak in light language than it is to be able to speak in English. Kamarakamohoto maraka serete shenaramorakataramorokaiti shinakamokaiti ramakatai sere. I've actually been doing this so long that my mind, it thinks in light language. It thinks in vibration, not words, not concepts, just in vibration and frequency. I guess that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for a gift that within the light that other people can start thinking in experiencing life as a frequency, as a vibrational state, instead of in the objects that we have structure and story around. An apple can be just an apple to one person, but if somebody had a negative experience with an apple in one way, shape, or form, the word apple means something different to them, whereas light language does not have that translation of experience with it. Okay, bringing lightness into the dark. Kamarakato mohoto serete shinita morakata ramokotai serete kamoto. Makaite shinite kamarakoto mohotai tirire namoadai shine laita ramokotai shinite mohaita mokotai. Mokaite shinata ramokoto moroko sarata shinina taramokotai mergaite shinaga shinamohoto makaite shinakamota ketege. So if we're not understanding the sounds, the tones that are coming out of my system, listen with a different part of your body, not your ears. They're trying to translate something that's not translatable. Right. One of my best favorite descriptions of light language that came through was actually from Patricia Wells, who we did a light language conference with a handful of years ago. And she had said that light language is the word, or was the language that humans spoke before we went into the Tower of Babel. As an artist, I tend to think of light language as the communication of frequency. And so if a picture is worth 1,000 words, a channeled light language is worth 1,000 pictures in the way that I understand it, in the way that I experience it, which is why I put light language into all of my artwork, which is why I put light language into almost everything that I do, because it just gives an extra vibrational frequency on top of everything else. So please, as you're listening, don't try to think with your conscious mind. Try to feel with your body. Where does this open? What does this do within your system? Does it strike you in the middle of the chest? Do you feel it opening the heart? Does it actually ground and give you a sensation on the bottom of your feet, or maybe down in the root chakra, of just a space of feeling grounded on a foundation that you've always been looking for? Right? The world that we live in is so dark, has been revealed for the darkness. There's plenty of light. And the fact that the darkness is lost to the point that they've had to reveal what's going on shows that the light is actually winning. And so we're needing to be able to ground ourselves in a space of light, because we're bringing light into the darkness and shining it as brightly as possible. This is a wild full moon message, by the way. さまらかたしにな、はいだからもう答えされてしになったらもう書いてりだいてしなもうかたいたいじゃがあったもう。で書いてるもろこさたしりれしゃらかもと書いてるのもほうたいされていなもうと書いされてもたていたい。で大事なもろかたもろこたいされてしなかもこたいされてらしるのもほうともうほたいされかしらも書いてるも書いてて。大体りだあまろおそれこしでしなはいもろこたらだも書いされてしなかもら書いた。で書いてからもろこともほうとこもほうとこすりりしなからまかたらあらあもおたさりてしにあいなおもとこさたて。さたておもろかいさりであしらあいもろこともほうた。もほうたからだろもおさたしになあまらあたきしなあまろおこたてしなけたもはいて。The events that are coming up within our near experience will shock everybody. Kamarakata, myself included. It is of vital importance as we're moving out of this eclipse portal into being grounded, into being centered within ourselves, into being able to trust our own authority on what we think and what we feel, not what we're told to do. Kama, kamarakoto sa tekeshita kamohoto. Mohoto kaiseri dirishina morokotai serikishina tamohota kaiteri namo otetsere aitiri mati kamoto. Mokoto sarete shinina hamarakoto mohi serikishina kai morokotatseri tinga makate mokotaite. Makaite kishira katamohoto morokotai setishina aite ete amoto sa aiserina amota kaititai. The Daida Amoro also toko Sadesira Amorokatai Mo Osarata Morokaiti Snata Moko. Mukoto Sakai Shike Shikatama Ate E Muate Sara Amoro Otorokote Sikaiti Rama Ate Eni Ana Amo Otoko Satakete Daida. The Daida Kara Amoroko Sada Sarata Mohota Saritishira Morokai Taramokai Namata Daimai. I hope that you have the eyes to see what's coming at us. Kamarakata Moroko Sarika. I hope you have the heart to stay in the light and embrace and shine brilliantly. And I hope that you have the foundation to be able to stand confidently in who you know yourself to be, so that you can show up unapologetically as the divine being that you are, sovereign, who's able to make their own choices and use their own intellect to move forward in a very chaotic time, as the old stories are unraveling and new ones are just now beginning to be written. Kamaraka also te eshite amodo o toko sete shineata mo o daitiki da moro kota keisina kamoite. Magaite seraka aimoro o sata sede sherano mohota ma aite ete amote seretike. Happy full moon. Be brilliant. Be gentle with your fellow humans, please. We're all going through very transformative times. And it's patience with each other that it will be paramount in getting us forward. Until next time, illuminate beautifully, my friends. Brilliantly. Illuminate brilliantly. Kamaraka sara komo hoto sarete shineta mo kate. Kamoto. Peace.